Thank you. Good evening. We convene this meeting of the Canton Select Board for April 30th, 2024. And this meeting is being telecast and recorded by Canton Community TV. Before we go to the first order of business, Member Patricia Boyden would like to read a statement. Ms. Boyden?
Thank you.
Thank you.
So before we start our regular business tonight, we want to be mindful of everyone in Canton who is following the Karen Reed court case that started yesterday. Let's be respectful and civil to each other as this case unfolds. The case is receiving national media attention. Many outlets point out that in our town is being torn apart by this. But let's remember what unites us. It's the love of our town, our schools, our green space, our enviable location, and most of all, our friends and family. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Town Administrator Duty. First order of business, sir.
Mr. Chairman, first up at business is the paving schedule update. Mr. Walsh.
I thought we were going to move him to the end.
No. I already read his name out, sir.
Lucky me.
Just hit B.
Thanks for coming.
Hi, I'm Billy Walsh, Operations Manager of Public Works. Here to talk about our paving schedule. When we came about this paving schedule, we brought on board this robotics. We drove all the streets in town with a camera. They took film of the road pavement segments and came back to evaluate it, what process we would use to bring it up to 100%. Right now, as a whole, the town is at 74% out of 100 of all the streets combined. So they came up with a package for us to say that we're going to do mill and pave, crack seal, cold in place. So we go through this list I have up there. I think it's the first page. Yep, first page. As you can see, the downtown, we're doing the downtown. We have the downtown plan for this year because we're going to do all the crosswalks over. We got that from a grant money. So we're going to do all this crosswalks over, so we might as well do the pavement of the town, of the downtown. So we're going to mill and pave. We're changing all the structures over. And also we're going to do Church Street while we're up there, Washington Street. And we're going to take out the right sidewalk and replace the sidewalk because the curbing is below grade. So we're going to bring it up to ADA. Second, we're going to do is we're going to mill and pave. The phase 2 will be the Ashdale, Birchcroft, Chestnut, Elmwood, Maplecroft, Oakdale, Pinecone, and also Kirby. That was a water project done probably, I'd say about 10 years ago. So the trenches are all over the place. So we're going to mill and pave down there, that area. We're going to crack seal about 22 streets in town. I have a list of those. I'm just going to go through those quick. Beatty, Brookswell, Cedar Drive, Colonial Lane, Flagstaff, Greenbrier, Harthridge, Heritage, Homestead, Kenny, Legion, Mount Vernon, Peakwood, Pinedale, Ponkapog, Sassamont, Sean Lee, Shepherd Way, Viney, and a little piece of Washington Street down there, Crowell's, near the intersection, and Westdale, Woodlock. In this program, we did robotics. They went around the whole town, so they're trying to spread out all of our money to different parts of Canton. So the next, what do you say, space? We'll do some surface sealing, which is kind of like a coating of the roads. It's Spruce Lane, Laurel Lane, Aldrich, Emerson, Thorough, Waterman, which we crack sealed about 5 years ago. This surface seal will give us another 8 years to bring it up to almost 90%. Then we're going to move on to Carriage Lane, Chapel, Cross, Endicott, Pierce, Ames, Valley. This is going to be a reclaim job. This is going to grind all the asphalt right down to gravel and crown the roads. All these roads are so past repair. That's why they have to have reclaim, total reclaim, regrade. Next. And then we're also doing Dedham Street, and it's cold in place, which we did last year during Washington Street Phase 1. It grinds it up, sets it right back down on the base, and you can drive right on top of it. As long as the roads are long and straight, we can use this process. We're also gonna do Washington at Dedham, just a straight lane at the intersection. There's a little bumpy area there. We're just gonna grab that when we do Dedham Street.
Great.
And on Dedham Street, we're gonna install 4 traffic calming islands. We're gonna demo them for the next 2 months. Gonna have some barrels out there, and we'll come back to the board and see if anybody has any complaints or any changes of the locations of the barrels. They're gonna be permanent islands. So right now, it's about 2.9. So we will have total almost 4. But I don't have the price for the curbing yet for the Dedham Street. And there is contingency based in this, so hopefully we don't see anything huge, but there is contingency plan in these numbers.
Great. Any questions for Mr. Walsh?
Just one, Bill, on your analysis of the rest of the roads in the town, is there a short list for the next, next 4 years? 4-year look at? So, I mean, there's a lot of towns that need some issues. There are a lot of roads that have issues, and a lot of people ask, well, when's my neighborhood on the top of the list? So is there like a 4-year outlook for this?
Well,
or-
it'll be a 3-year outlook.
Yeah,
The only problem is the money's not the same every year. So the projection is for what we get for chapter 90,
yeah.
so around 850. So they'll be projected for the next 2 years after this. This is the first year of the 3-year
And
plan.
is there a posting of those streets?
We're gonna have a construction page on our webpage.
Perfect. Thank you.
Could you maybe talk a little bit about some of the streets that you know are in, that need repair, but you're waiting because of like water main work or
Mhm.
sewer work?
So for next year's paving, we already have on the docket because of the water projects, will be Bolivar Street, Randolph Terrace, and Old Randolph. So they're all getting a water main project done this year. They'll go through the winter, settle down, and we'll repave next year.
Yeah, they're down there now.
Paving streets are on hold. Lower Sherman Street, Lower Sherman Street because of a water main project we'll need to do. Revere Court because of the bridge. Bailey Street drainage and water main issue, replacement, I should say. Pine Street water main replacement, and End of Green Lodge, the Route 95 ramp replacement. Those are the streets that are on hold that the robotics has popped up as worst case scenario roads that should be done that we're on hold right now for the next couple of years. Hopefully next year we'll be down on Sherman Street.
And if I may, at the corner of Sherman Street, you take by the pizza parlor, that's pretty bad, and you're gonna take a look at that, see if you can do like a coat we did similar to up at Randolph Street, and you get off of Randolph Street in front of St. Mary's.
We'll try to
Oh,
do a
yeah,
patch
that's pretty
now.
bad.
Mhm.
You just take a look at that and see if you can do something.
No, we can do
There's
that.
A lot of complaints, and I told people exactly what you had said, that we don't want to pave it and then dig it up and put the new sewer, water and sewer down.
No.
That makes no sense.
And one more question, Bill, if you may, on Bolivar Street, when that comes up, would you be doing the sidewalks in conjunction with that?
Yep, a brand new sidewalk, get rid of the slope curbing, and make vertical curbing.
Okay, thank you.
Pick up at the pool and pick
Yeah.
where the pool project will go each way.
Perfect.
And out front, when's that gonna, I have a lot of people calling and
May 12th and 13th, the final coat
Alco.
at night.
Are we moving right along? Because that was supposed to be done last November. We was supply chain issue with the
Castings.
castings. Thank you. So
Yep, right now we're waiting on Eversource. They're out there working right now with the vault covers and the gas gate covers they're working on.
Great.
Last night we worked on a water main cap for the project of Bolivar Street, so that's all taken care of. And we're just digging out a little on Church Street for the sidewalk repair.
Any other questions for Mr. Walsh?
Thanks,
Thank
Bill.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Billy.
Update, Bill?
Thank you.
Good escape though.
Mr. McCourt.
Mr. Chair, next we have, I believe, Randy, are you in Jody? Jody on the insurance, renewals and plan design. So Jody Middleton, I didn't see you, Jody, back there, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I see.
I wouldn't mind, Randy. Oh, hi.
No, I'm
Ken.
just doing this. You keep on going.
You're here for support?
You can do it.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank
Good
you.
evening.
I'm Jody Middleton. I'm the HR director for the town. It is that time of year again, open enrollment, when our insurance plans, we do have to renew for the next fiscal year. So fiscal year 25, all the plans will be effective July 1st and run through June 30th, 2025. So when I'm talking about insurance rates and plan design, it's for that time frame. We communicated with the Public Employee Committee, known as the PEC, that the town, we do not wish to make any plan design changes to our medical or dental. So we're not looking to change the internal plans with the deductibles or co-pays or anything like that. This would be the 5th straight year that we have all collectively agreed to keep the plan design as is, which is good news for everybody all around. But with that said, there's just one enhancement that I call. We would like to add a rider onto our HMO and PPO medical plans. It's called Pillar RX. This rider would, like I said, would include the HMO, the Blue Cross New England plan, and the preferred Blue Care Elect PPO plan. It would not include the retiree plan, the Medex plan. It would only be those two HMO and PPO plans. This is a cost-sharing assistance program for prescription drugs. It uses coupons from the manufacturers of the medication to reduce the cost for eligible high-cost specialty medications. Now, these medications are not the ones that you get in the typical pharmacy, Rite Aid, Walgreens, things like that. This is where they actually have to be manufactured and mailed specifically to the subscriber. The cost sharing assistance program would provide financial assistance with using these coupons from the manufacturer to cover most or all of the members' out-of-pocket costs for eligible members. So we could reduce their out-of-pocket costs significantly. So we did have Blue Cross do a Zoom with the Public Employee Committee to explain the program that we do think. We didn't want to wait another year to add this rider. So they did agree that it would be beneficial for all the members. How it would work is through Blue Cross's data, and Blue Cross only shared numbers with us. I just want to say they did not disclose any personal information about people affected, but with their data of who is prescribed this medication, then the Pillar IX program or company would reach out to that member, and they do have to enroll in this program to get the coupons. And then once they enroll, they have to enroll every year or every new prescription too. And there'd be a medication list that we currently have, or any changes will be on the website. And then the Pillar RX program, a representative will walk them through, and they can do it online. They can do it over the phone. They can do it in many avenues. They can decline. If they decline or just completely ignore all of the communication, it's not like the drug won't be covered at all. It would just be covered at, most likely it would be the highest tier of our copay. So they would just pay significantly more than if they were in this program.
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Middleton? I have one question. Maybe you're going to handle it now. before
Maybe,
the
'cause
phone
I'm not
starts-
done yet.
Maybe before the phone starts ringing.
Mhm. Drugs. One of the exemptions is if they're on Medicare or Medicaid, that this program, Pillar RX, they're exempt from that program. So if they're on the Medex plan, then it would not be offered to them.
The rates are the same. They're going to be the same as,
The rates are gonna, so yes, I'll get that.
okay.
I'm gonna ahead.
Go ahead.
So yeah, so we're gonna have tons of communication on our website about this. And again, there's really specialty drugs. So it's a small percentage of the population, but anybody can call Blue Cross, can call Pillar RX, or they can call Meredith or I to walk them through any of the program. And Meredith and I can help them set up their enrollments too.
That's what they'll probably do. You know that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I love talking to them. That's fine. They can call anytime.
Thank you.
Yeah. So then again, for the insurance rates, we are asking that you do not raise the insurance premium specifically for the medical, and then the dental with a little asterisk, and the basic life insurance plan. So this would be for the 5th straight year. We're asking for no premium increase to anybody, and the employees, retirees, for fiscal year 25. Our dental renewal, when we signed up with the renewal with them, for the enhanced, the higher plan, the renewal came back slightly lower than it did last year and previous years. I guess people have great teeth. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply, what we want to do is apply the new lower rate to the enhanced plan for fiscal year 25. So they'll, people who are in the enhanced plan or will enroll in the enhanced plan, will see a reduction in that premium. So we'll communicate that out as well.
And these include the schools, correct?
Yes, all the schools in the town, they're under one insurance umbrella and
That's
they
right, I
have
just
the
wanna-
same,
Make sure that's known.
yeah.
And we're not going up.
We're not going up. And with the enhanced plan only, we decided, we'll just pass the savings on. So those are the reduction
Okay,
on
thanks.
a month, per pay period basis. And as long as I'm here, just want to say that open enrollment is going to kick off with our benefits fair on May 9th, and then run through the entire month of May. So any retirees or employees want to make changes, they can. They can go. The benefits fair is going to be, again, May 9th from 12:30 to 4:30 in the lower level of the community room at the library. We'll have representatives from Blue Cross, Delta, where we invite Bank of Canton. We're going to have all the representatives there. So if they have personal questions, they can come and they can ask. And they'll ask, they can even ask questions about the Pillar X program as well. So.
Any questions, comments?
Nope.
Mr. Judy?
Good.
Good?
Well, good.
Mrs. Collins?
Good.
Good. Great, thank you,
All
Jody.
right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Jody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Mr. Chair, with that said, I move the board approve the FY '25 insurance rates as presented by the Human Resource Director.
Motion's been made and seconded?
Yep.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion, comments, concerns?
Mm-mm.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
3-0. Thank you. Thank you. Mr.
Mr.
McCourt.
Chairman, we have a Economic Development Committee report, Gene Manning. And
Hello.
Just like B.
B.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, great to be with you tonight. I want to introduce Tara Cull, who's a member of our Economic Development Committee, and she'll be presenting on behalf of the committee tonight. And it is annual tradition, Mr. Chairman, we always want to present to the board our EDC report before it's presented at town meeting, where it's such an important factor in town economic growth and stability. And we wanted to really present some good news to the board in terms of the town's business performance with new businesses on the horizon, and new growth in 2024.
Great.
So with that, I'll turn it over to Tara to present, and be happy to answer any of the board's questions.
Thank you, Gene.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here tonight. My name is Tira Call again, and I have the pleasure of sharing some positive perspective here in terms of what the Economic Development Committee has done for Canton and the position that we're in going into 2020 or continuing through 2024. This is sort of an overview, I think, around our mission statement, and just it helps us sort of anchor our conversations and discourse when we come together for meetings. But the headlines here in 2023 around Canton business development are really anchored in these three highlights. And so the first one is probably something that is really prominent for all of us as Canton residents, that Topgolf opened in Dedham Street. This was their first Massachusetts location. It has been a resounding success so far in terms of the volume that we see there and how busy that facility is. The site's valuation of $37 million and they've hired over 60 Canton residents, creating new job opportunities. So it's been a really bright spot. I know that was a long-standing body of work from a lot of different people who contributed and collaborated to make that happen. But it's been a fantastic bright spot for 2023. The second piece here, 30 Dan Road, it's a site that's being redeveloped for future use as a biotech site. It's relatively large in terms of the potential it has for Canton, and it certainly is one of the highlights here. And then the last piece is Amazon opening a second location at 250 Royal. And they'll handle their HR and training for their Eastern Massachusetts offices. And so it's, again, another a prominent fixture, a name brand, and something that we like to have represented in the town. From an impact standpoint, there's a lot of really good news here for us as Canton. The business community paid over $35 million in commercial and industrial taxes in 2023. That's 39% of our tax levy. That puts us in a really favorable position, especially compared to other communities and neighboring towns. The commercial and industrial valuation of businesses in Canton is over $1.8 billion. Canton's one of the top Norfolk County communities in commercial taxes generated. We have a slide on that in a moment, just to give you a visual comparison about how favorable our position is. And in 2024, the residential tax rate, so this is per $1,000 of assessed value, dropped to just under $10. That's the lowest in 15 years. And the commercial rate is $20.80. So this is really a strong point for us as a town. I think something for all of us who are so invested in the community and the success of the town to really rally around and feel like a bright spot for this year. This is the comparison point I wanted to mention here to just give you a line of sight into the favorability of where Canton comes in terms of the industrial taxes percent of total levy for Norfolk County. What you see here is that of our neighboring towns, we are obviously in a remarkably favorable position. And that, I think, really lends itself to the long-term strategic vision of the town and the way that we have been really intentional in terms of our positioning of Canton as a desirable and preeminent place for businesses to come and be established. The CABI here, so Canton Businesses, the Practice Community Responsibility Engagement. This is also just another bright spot here. We have 25 Canton businesses that offer annual scholarships to Canton High School and the Blue Hills Regional Technical School students. In 2023, over $40,000 was donated to Canton municipal departments, places like schools, the senior center, the food pantry, the Canton business community. So again, it's that opportunity to reinvest in the folks that are here and part of our town, and it's a really positive story there. And then finally, too, here, since the inception over 50 years ago, CABI has donated over $2 million to Canton charities. And so that's something I think we feel worthy of highlighting. And then CABI hosts the annual Canton Road Race, which is held each September. So if you were thinking about getting out there, now is the summer of training for you to make your debut and end at Trillium, of course. So there's a prize for everyone at the end there. We have over
Can we start
600.
at Trillium?
I'll meet you there. John, absolutely. So it's that sense of camaraderie, community, and the vibrancy that we are really proud to be part of a committee that helps illuminate for our fellow Cantonites. And then finally here's our list of who's who. As part of our EDC, we have a great group of people who are committed to furthering the discourse for our town, staying focused and supporting the strategic vision of the ways in which we want to continue to investing and providing Canton to be a preeminent place to do business. But all in, the story is really positive from the EDC perspective, and we wanted to bring you into the fold in terms of the run up to the annual town meeting. Any questions, or Jean, you want to add anything there?
No, I just want to note Greg Murphy's here, a member of the EDC tonight and helped contributed. And Mr. Chairman, members of the board, we know how competitive you all are with your fellow Norfolk County community. So we wanted to share that number that really the town's generating great spark and energy and really enthusiastic in the business community. So certainly a bright spot, and that's what we'll be presenting to town meeting with your approval.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Good news. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate all your work.
Thank you very much.
Wait, one question.
Sure.
So I see Alan Rappaport up there, which is awesome, small business owner. Are there others, or do you do outreach to the folks in the center or at the mall at Cobb's Corner? Or is it mostly focused on the industry and the industrial parks?
Well, EDC works really closely with CABI, the Canton Association of Business and Industry.
Yeah.
So Alan kind of represents our downtown business organization and
Okay.
down at Cobb's Corner. They're always welcome to join either CABI. We also have committee openings that are appointed through the board and Charlie that are open to downtown business members. So, we try to work with them. I know there's been a lot of new restaurants coming in town, north of 5 or 6, right? I think the town opened this year that we try to be supportive of. We also work with Charlie and the board on Restaurant Week and some things there, and also with the planning board on zoning and economic development. So indirectly, EDC is involved with all of Canton. Our main focus with the board has historically been the primary economic areas of Dan Road, Shawmut Road, and Royal Street.
Yeah.
So, but we try to be inclusive of all businesses in the community. And we think that with all that's going on, including the new restaurants and paving downtown and the re-engagement, that it's all really positive light.
Any other questions, comments?
Nope. All set. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McCourt.
Mr. Chair, we have at the request of the Fire Chief and Human Resource Director, we have a request for personal action form for firefighter Kevin T. Albert. And I would move the board approve the personal action form for the firefighter Kevin T. Albert per Fire Chief and Human Resource Director.
Motion's been made and seconded.
I'm going to abstain from this one.
Do you want to just second it?
Sure, I'll second
Sure.
it.
Thank you. Thank you. Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion, comments, concerns?
Just,
Oh, go ahead, Mr.
just to point out that this is a civil service appointment, and the candidate was number one on the civil service list.
And he's an EMT.
Correct.
Thank you. All those in favor of the, approving the appointment as recommended by the fire chief and Jody Middleton, the HR director, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain?
Abstain.
201.
Mr. Chair, the next under our business is consider approving the fire department ambulance abatement request in the amount of $1,299.62. I would move that the board approve the fire department ambulance abatement request in the amount of $1,299.62 requested by the fire chief.
This is pretty standard, so.
Yep,
yeah, pretty standard.
so it's been moved.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion,
Mm-mm.
comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 That's 3-0.
Next, Mr. Chair, is a common victual license for Honeydew Operations, DBA Honeydew Donuts, 375 Neponset Street. Is this a change of ownership?
Our manager.
Manager.
Manager, okay. So with that said, I move the board approve the application for a common victual license for Honeydew Operations, DBA Honeydew Donuts, 375 Neponset Street.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That's 3-0.
Mr. Chair, the next is a seasonal renewal for Ponkapog Golf Course.
Yes.
And I move the board approve the renewal application for the seasonal common victualler and liquor license for Karen's Kitchen, 2167 Washington Street.
I second. Oh, is that what
Actually,
we do now?
give that
Okay.
to- Motion's been made and seconded for Karen's Kitchen. It's a traditional thing to keep the golfers going. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 3-0.
Mr. Chair, the next will be considering the approval of the sale of 50 Copperworks Unit 104. Charlie, would you like to speak? on
Sure.
this?
Yep. You know that Unit 104 was conveyed to the town by Canton Holdings as part of the Paul Revere Heritage Site development. And the intent of the town was to, once that unit was conveyed, is to sell it at market rate. And then those funds would go directly to the Affordable Housing Trust to work on, you know, the goals of Affordable Housing Trust, keeping our percentage above 10%, trying to create more affordable housing and so forth. So the unit went on the market. It was marketed by Revis Realty. Nicole Cohen was our realtor, who was here tonight. See ya. And you know, several open houses were scheduled. Better than 15 tours were given, some private, some through the open house process. And Nicole was able to bring a buyer to the table. It's a little bit different with municipal procurement. So there was an RFP that went out, and then all bids were due back on the 26th of this month. We received one bid from a qualified buyer who was pre-approved, and pending your approval, that unit would be sold to that buyer in the amount of $525,000. So the unit was listed at $599,900, but we had the one offer at $525,000. The unit is very close to the train tracks, and it is not, the finishes inside are not something that someone who was purchasing it, you know, privately.
Not graded.
Yeah, it's commercial grade fixtures.
It's not
So,
graded.
you know, there were some things, and then outside parking. So there were some things that impacted the ultimate, you know, price of the unit. But we felt like, you know, rather than go through the whole RFP process again and risk not having a buyer, that it was prudent to accept the $525,000 and get that money into the hands of the Affordable Housing Trust, where they can do some good.
Absolutely. And just to clarify, this unit was a deal that the select board made with Canton
Canton
Holdings.
Holdings.
So it
Yep.
was, It was give and take.
Yep.
So,
So we're asking that the board approve the sale.
is there a motion, Mr. McCord?
Mr. Chair, I move the board approve the sale of 50 Copper Works Unit 104 at the sales price of $525,000.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Do you have anything you want to add?
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for your hard work. Hearing no further discussion, comments, concerns, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 3-0. Thank you.
Next, we have a request to construct a parking area in front of 1860 Washington Street. This is necessary to prepare the former church to be used as a polling location in the fall.
For handicapped.
Just for handicap spaces. With that said, I move the board approve the request for up to $45,000 from the Brightview Mitigation to construct a parking area in front of 1860 Washington Street.
Motion's been made,
Seconded.
seconded. Any discussion? Comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's 3-0. Mr. McCourt.
Next, Mr. Chair, there's a request for up to $15,000 for a new trailer grill for the Canton Parks and Recreation. The current grill has been discontinued. The manufacturer doesn't even build the grills anymore. We used it at the
Cleanup day.
the cleanup day, and we had some good issues with it going out. It's approximately 15 years old. It served the town well, and we'd like to replace that so that we can continue doing our cookouts on the common and other functions that we have around the town with a good, safe grill and one a little bigger. Our concerts on the common are getting bigger. They're running about 300 people, so we need a little bit bigger grill and surface. So with that said, I move the board approve the request for up to $15,000 from Brightview Mitigation to replace the new trailer grill for the Parks and Recreation.
I second.
Motion been made, seconded. Will the grill be here for, you think?
Once Tyler gets this approval, I had talked to him this afternoon, and he's actually on the phone with a couple of manufacturers. There's one manufacturer out there that's pretty popular, the Big John Trailblazer Grill. So that's what they're looking at. That's the one they're doing. So hopefully we can have it for the first cookout at, after the, or the fourth.
Great.
So it'll be good.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
3-0. Thank you, Mr. McCourt.
Okay, where are we? Okay. Next, we are considering a request for up to $15,000 from Brightview Mitigation for 2 incremental expenses identified during the Climate Action Plan, or the CAP, RFP review and process. Tom?
Good evening. Tom Birmingham, Chair of the Canton Sustainability and Climate Action Plan Steering Committee. And thank you for the opportunity to speak. I thought it might be helpful, just a quick little background to provide you and the public of what this is all about. As you may recall, the town at annual town meeting last year approved warrant Article 27 to develop a climate action plan for the town. Since then, we have formed our committee and our bylaws, and we've also received a $50,000 grant from the Executive Office of Energy and Environmental Affairs. And now we're in the process of hiring a consultant. So we're kind of at that stage 4, 5, and 6 of the diagram you see on the slide. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about, was our what we've learned so far going through the RFP process. Next slide is the couple of highlights. We've got the grant in September of 23. In January, we issued the RFP consistent with Chapter 30B. In February, we received 3 qualified bids. March and April, we ended up interviewing 2 of the most qualified vendors. Today, here I'm asking for your support for approval of a $15,000 incremental, to cover incremental expenses that we've identified through the RFP process. And regardless of what happens tonight, we do have 2 qualified vendors that we're considering, and we would like to offer the contract to one of those 2 following tonight's meeting. This slide shows you sort of the results of what we've identified through the RFP process to date. Blue Strike Environmental is the #1 candidate. They had high technical scores. The pricing came in at $61,710. And through the interview scoring process with our steering selection committee, we identified 44 points relative to the next qualified candidate is Weston and Sampson. So those are the results of the RFP effort to date, just to make sure everybody understands the decision-making process. You can see Weston and Sampson did come in at $50,000, which is what the grant is for. And Blue Strike Environmental came in at $61,710. So based on the 30B process, we have the opportunity to ask for additional dollars. And that's what I'm here tonight to do. And let me just keep going with the presentation, and then I'll open the floor for questions. So why Blue Strike Environmental, given the higher costs, but they also score better on some other categories? They're focusing on developing municipal climate action plans. That's their business. That's what they do. Some of the other bidders, it's in addition to their business. Bring a wide variety of experience in these areas. Number of different jurisdictions they've done this with outside of Massachusetts too, which is, it's interesting to see what else they've learned in other parts of the country. Offer the most customizable approach. They're very flexible in terms of meeting our needs. Community engagement, which is a big part of this effort, meet or exceed competition. And finally, offers the most robust and comprehensive set of deliverables. So just to wrap up, if it's okay with you, I drafted a draft motion to approve the use of select board mitigation funds to cover the $15,000 of incremental expenses identified during the RFP process to complete our climate action plan. The $15,000 would be a combination of the $11,710 associated with the Blue Strike bid, and then an incremental $2,290 to provide a small contingency reserve to cover any unforeseen incremental expenses. That gets you to the nice round $15,000.
Any questions, comments?
Just one, Tom, is this, how long is this for? This for 1 year?
Essentially, the RFP, the grant runs through June of 2025.
Okay.
So we have that amount of time to finish
To do this.
spending the money. Yeah.
And will that grant, will this service be needed annually, like every year? And would be there grant for that every year? Well, you don't know yet.
This is a one-time planning grant.
One time?
So once we finish with this phase of the project, that's it. We end up with a plan that could last, like most municipal plans, 5+ years.
Yeah.
And then we would bring the plan in front of the ATM annual town meeting, hopefully in 2025, next year, to get approval for the plan, and then recommend additional actions that would come out of the plan, and we would fund those actions through a combination of other grants and requests from the town.
Okay.
And just, if you would, Mr. Duty, just have town council, just the motion, make sure everything's okay.
Sure.
Just no disrespect.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just want to add, just detail Brightview mitigation funds in the motion.
What's that?
Just make sure,
Brightview.
yeah, because he doesn't have, just make sure it says
I
Brightview.
have it on here, yeah.
But not the motion.
Mr. Chair, I move the board approve the request for up to $15,000 from Brightview Mitigation for 2 incremental expenses identified during the Climate Action Plan RFP review process.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further comments, questions, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Birmingham.
Mr. Vice Chair, if I may just add a pitch, public information, the Canton Energy Choice informational session is going to be held on Thursday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. at the Canton Public Library's community room for any people that have questions about the Canton Electricity Choice Program. So we welcome everybody to come there with your questions, and thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Tom.
Thank you. Mr. McCourt.
Mr. Chair, the next on our agenda is consider approving the application to obtain a special license to serve all alcoholic beverage and one-day entertainment at a one-day event for Sherry Alpert at the barn at Paul Revere Heritage Site, 4 Rolling Mill Way on June 9, 2024, from 2 to 6 p.m. contingent on building commissioner and police chief and fire chief approval. So I make a motion that we consider approving the application to obtain a special license to serve alcoholic beverage at One Day Entertainment, a one-day event for Sherry Alpert at the Bonnet Paul Revere Heritage Site, 4 Rolling Mill Hill, on June 9th, 2024, from 2 to 6 p.m., contingent upon building commissioner, police chief, and fire chief approval.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Comments? Concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, 3-0.
We have another one-day entertainment. Mr. Chair, I move that the board approve the application for one-day entertainment, 11-piece live band for the Boys and Girls Club of the Boston event at 20 North Street and 260 Pine Street on May 18th, 2024, from 5:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., contingent on building commissioner, police chief, and fire chief approval.
Oh, I second that motion, sorry.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? Comments? Concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, 3-0.
Mr. Chair, next we have the carnival at the Trinity Church. This is an annual request, I believe.
Yes.
And I move the board approve the request for the carnival to be held at the Trinity Episcopal Church, 1 Blue Hill River Road, on May 24th, 2024, 6 to 10 p.m., May 25th, 2024, 1 to 10 p.m., May 26th, 2024, 1 to 10 p.m., May 27th, 2024, 1 to 10 p.m., May 30th, 2024, from 6 to 10 p.m., May 31st, 2024, 6 to 10 p.m., June 1st, 2024, 1 to 10 p.m., June 2nd, 2020, from 1 to 10 p.m., contingent on building commissioner, police chief, and fire chief approval, police detail during hours of operation.
I second that motion.
Yes, because that's what especially what happened in Weymouth.
Yeah, with the police chief. Yeah,
no,
yeah,
with the,
okay,
with the
yeah.
carnival.
What they detail,
Yeah, the
definitely.
detail, I'm sorry, just want the detail
Mm.
for the safety of the people that are there.
Mm.
Any further discussion or comments?
Mm-mm.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that's 3-0. Excuse me, thank you.
Mr. Chair, we have another application for a special license to serve wine and malt. I move the board approve the application to obtain a special license to serve wine and malt beverages to be held for the Milton Players located at 3 Randolph Street, Canton, Mass., May 10th, 2024, May 11th, 2024, May 17th, 2024, May 18th, 2024, at 8 p.m., contingent upon building commissioner, police chief, and fire chief approval.
I second that motion.
Is there any end time on that? You know, Charlie, it just says 8 p.m.
I don't know the end time, but that's the Milton Players, they generally do,
Few
they do a
hours.
play. It's,
Yeah,
between
okay.
2 and 3 hours, I would say.
So moved.
So motion been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Mm-mm.
Concerns, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 3-0, thank you. Excuse me.
Next, Mr. Chair, we have a gift. I move the board accept and authorize the use of a gift in accordance with the terms thereof, Mass General Law, Chapter 44, subsection 53A, a $200 donation to the Department of the Elder and Human Services from Fred Gladstone.
Oh, I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that's 3-0, thank you.
Next, Mr. Chair, we have an appointment of a retired police officer for details for one police officer. I move that the board approve an appointment of retired police officers, details only for Brian Wanless.
Can you second the motion?
Yes,
Okay, you second it
I
then.
second the motion.
And I'm going to abstain.
Yes,
Motion been made and seconded because we're having a hard time filling details.
Okay.
And unfortunately, a police officer just got killed in Billerica,
Mm,
working a detail.
When that got
Keep his
squished.
family
probably,
and
yeah,
his family and friends in your prayers, if you would, please.
would.
All those in, Sergeant Ian Young. So all those in favor?
Aye.
201.
We have a request from the Director of Parks and Recreation and the Human Resource for appointments. I move that the board approve the appointments of Park and Recreational seasonal staff, Josh Richards, Martin Emerson, Ben Secord, and Emma Cahill.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
3-0.
We have a request at the Superintendent of Public Works and Recreation and Human Resource Director. I move that the board approve the appointment of Public Works seasonal staff, Michael Anderson, Giovanni Ruggieri, Nicholas Ruggieri, Jeffrey Chaput, Nelinda Ingles, Yasmin Jawad, and Luke Richards.
I second that
Motion's
motion.
been made and second for DP, Public Works seasonal staff. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that's 3-0.
Next one is the select board meeting schedule from July 24th to December 24th. I move that the board approve the select board meeting schedule July 24th to December 24th, subject to change.
I second that motion. Wait, so what is the schedule? I haven't even seen it.
Oh,
It's on your, it's
Oh,
on- it's on your, it's on your,
It's all subject to change.
it's all
Okay.
printed out.
Okay, good. I'll take a look.
yeah, yeah. Yet, July 2nd is not on there.
I know, I saw it. I did see that.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? That's 3-0. Before I was remiss, before we go into action items, old business, Mr. Lockman is away. He thought the meeting was last week, and he is in California, and Mr. Albert had a family matter that he had to attend to. So that's why they're not here. I meant to say that at the beginning of the meeting. I apologize. Mr. McCourt.
Mr. Chair, next we have consider approving the social media policy.
We're going to hold that.
We're going to hold
Table
that
it,
until five-member
We
board.
have the 5, yep.
Yeah.
Could do it at the May 13th meeting.
And the select board operating procedures review administrative hold, are we going to hold that too?
Yes.
Yep, hold.
Thank you.
Next would be
Cemetery commitments.
cemetery commitments. I believe, yes, it is.
Mhm.
I have moved that the board approve the cemetery commitments in the amount of $4,225.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded for the cemetery commitments. Any further questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? 3-0. Thank you.
Next, I move that the board approve the cemetery lot perpetual care deeds.
Second that motion.
Motion
What
been
is-
made and seconded for perpetual care. Any further discussion, comments,
Yeah, I have a
concerns?
question. What is it?
It's the upkeep of the cemetery.
Okay.
So, yeah, and people, when they buy their, they get the, so they have their place, so we can't,
Gotcha.
so
Yeah.
they know where they're going.
They know where they're going. That's good.
Mr. Chair,
All those in favor say aye.
Oh, aye.
3-0. That's fine.
Mr. Chair, the vendor warrant total for the week of 4/12/24 is $1,862,719.12. The payroll warrant total for the week of 4/12/24 is $312,448.98. The vendor warrant total for the week of 4/19/2024 is $981,553.88. The payroll warrant total for the week of 4/19/2024 is $1,517,277.19. The vendor warrant total for the week of 4/26/24, $2,750,595.74. And the payroll warrant total for the week of 4/26/24, $416,756.81. And that's it for that. Next thing, we'll consider approving the minutes for the select board meeting. So where am I on that? Let me get caught up on my paperwork here. Mr. Chair, please. I move that the board approve the minutes of the select board meeting of March 19th, 2024, April 9th, 2024.
Second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
3-0.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board approve the executive session minutes from the select board meetings of December 19th, 2023, January 9th, 2024, January 23rd, 2024, February 1st, 2024, and February 6th, 2024.
Motion been made and seconded
Yes.
for executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 3-0. Town Administrator.
Mr. Chair, Tom, Mr.
Yes, Mr. Chair, just a couple of updates here tonight. Let me get my paperwork in order. All right, first up, I just want to remind residents that the annual town meeting will be held on May 13th, beginning at 7 PM at the Canton High School Auditorium. Doors open at 5:30, I believe.
Yes.
All residents should have received a copy of the warrant in the mail, and we encourage residents to attend and vote on the 37 articles that have been prepared for the 2024 town meeting. And as a reminder, as is our normal practice, the select board will meet before the meeting at 5:30 in the cafeteria. Secondly, I just want to acknowledge a letter we received from Firma Tamara Pierce. She's a CHS Honor Society student, and her Honor Society team put together a project this year to acknowledge the great work that municipal employees do. they delivered cards to all municipal departments conveying their appreciation for the work that they do on behalf of the community. It was a really nice gesture, and the employees were touched by the fact that, Canton High School students took the time to do that for them. So we just wanted to thank Firma and her group for, making the day of a lot of municipal employees. So it was a great project, and we appreciate it. Finally, next, the new bathroom facilities have been installed at the Paul Revere Village. You may have seen it. The Paul Revere Heritage Trust is hoping to have them operational by Heritage Day, which I believe is May 18th. And then finally, some interesting news came across my desk. The April 21st edition of Boston Globe magazine, which I have right here, ranked Canton as the #1 community to live in South Boston, edging out in the south of Boston area, edging out Situate. The article acknowledged the difficulty of the Karen Reed case currently, but it highlighted the many good things that make Canton attractive to families, including our recreation department offerings, the Paul Revere Heritage Site, the Cabot Estate, the Ponky Golf Course, Blue Hills, our strong commercial tax base, and proximity to Boston via the commuter rail. So I thought that was some good news to share with folks as well, to kind of piggyback on the Economic Development Committee. Canton is ranked #1.
Great, thank you.
That's awesome.
Mr. Chair, just to reiterate what the town administrator just said, is the select board will hold its next meeting on Monday, May 13th, 2024 at 5:30 PM in the cafeteria of the Canton High School, 900 Washington Street.
Thank you, Mr. McCourt.
Next is public comment.
Thank you, Mr. McCourt. Next is public comment. The public comment portion of the meeting is an opportunity to listen to residents' feedback and concerns, but the public comment portion of the meeting is not meant to be a question and answer format. There will be no response to any public comment when presented. The public comment portion of the meeting is limited to 15 minutes total and 3 minutes per speaker. I would encourage those that do wish to speak to be mindful of others in the room who wish to do the same, so that we can make the most out of the time allotted to hear from as many people as possible. Anyone who does not wish to speak or who is unable to speak due to the time limit may submit their comments in writing for the board's review and consideration. Thank you. Is there anyone that would like to speak? Just your name, please.
Oh, God.
So is this on? I'm new here.
Yes, that's for the TV, so that's not for the,
Oh, okay.
yeah. Just your name, please.
My name is Corey. So, and did I hear you right, that you don't allow questions?
Correct.
So if somebody did want to ask questions, how would they go about doing that?
You get in touch with the, either send us a letter and the select board's emails, or to the office, or to the town administrator.
Okay,
I would also say, during public comment, you can, whatever it is you want to say, you can ask questions during public comment. They just can't respond to those questions.
Okay,
So
is
I
that-
can
Very
write the
well.
questions down and give you answers.
okay.
We just need your last name, not the address. You just need your last name.
My name's Corey Spalding.
Okay, that's fine. It's just for the record.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I will, and how much time do I get?
3 minutes.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't find that on any website, so, okay, so what I have to say, you're not gonna wanna hear. So, the police officer, I hope that everybody remains respectful. So, as your attorneys and the district attorney know, I'm a whistleblower who has exposed an ongoing conspiracy to commit fraud by elected officials in other districts as well as here in Canton. For credibility, I am a member of the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners, and I'm using the word conspiracy as defined by the U.S. Department of Justice Criminal Resource Manual, CMR 923.18, USC subsection 371, conspiracy to defraud the United States. It creates an offense if two or more persons conspire either to commit any offense against the United States or to defraud the United States or any agency thereof in any manner or for any purpose. The select board, you're considered one unit. The school committee is another. Superintendent is another. The fraud involves, among other things, federal grants designated for the school children, as well as federal grants that are supposed to be accepted and approved, Chapter 44, Section 53A, here in the select board. So there's many, the school committee is misappropriating the federal grants. Their policy is DD, it's on page 9, and they do not approve it as per the law. They misappropriate it. They will not allow us to be put on the agenda. What we would be seeking would actually be a public hearing so that the citizens of Canton could actually make an informed decision about the fraud and the corruption.
Yeah.
And you would also have a chance to
Go off.
explain what was going on.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. So I did find out that you are insured by the MIIA for liability. I talked to the woman that was talking about insurance. So as you know, you're privately insured, and so that appears to be, there's a lot of children here in Canton who are being bullied and actually would fall under the, I'm trained as a mandated reporter, child abuse. And that's a liability issue, and that's part of why the school committees are not, they're misappropriating for liability. I've gone through this several times with several different, all the way, several different districts. So anyhow, that's really what I have to say.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, and we really would like the public to know about the evidence that we have and in the best interest of the children and the taxpayers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Spalding.
All right, we're back at it. Wait a second.
My name is Ron Delgado, a stonemason.
Yep.
I of Canton and Sharon for the past 35 years. Because of the death of John O'Keefe and the threat I have received the past 14 years, I have a letter here from Janet Pratt that lives directly across the street from the Canton police. I just want to read what they did to her property because she dared to go on Facebook and recommended her grandson my work. To the Canton Police Chief, second request. On January 1st or thereabouts, I sent a short informational report to your office about the incident below. I had observed someone at about 6 to 6:30 a.m. with a small yellow backhoe try to tear down my wall. They were on my property and the driveway where the wall turns in. I have pictures of the damage. At about the same time, I discovered my gas light had been damaged. It has been there for 45 years and occasionally would have been changed to the mantle. If there had been a strong wind, I know I had to replace a major part of the lantern. It was damaged not by the wind, by someone enter my property and destroy it on purpose. I have turned the gas light off and do not feel safe to do the repair until I can determine who is coming onto my property uninvited. This incident happened a few months ago, and I'm taking the other measure to ensure my safety. I see there is a camera in the phone line and the end of the driveway, and I'm requesting that a review be made of the tape of that particular camera. Please let me know when illegal steps I need to take to acquire that the tape as far back as 6 months. Also, what the cost and process would be if I would be permitted to hire someone of my own choosing to do the observation, so as to save your time. I realize this is asking a lot of your office, which is why I am offering to do so. I will pursue this as I no longer feel safe. Please let me know some sort of timeline when I may hear about progress regarding the tape. I know this is a lot to ask of your office, and if I can help anyway, so as not to make your job more difficult, I would be more than happy to do so. Janet Pratt. Now, this is important though. The second letter is when I was attacked in Canton, called an effing nigger, said I'll be shot in the head. And I complained to the police and I complained to the select board. This is what the business administrator wrote to me. Dear Ms. Delgado, this letter is dated July 17, 20. Dear Ms. Delgado, this letter is being written to you respectfully and to ask your thoughtful consideration or requests sent for below. This is all lies I'm about to read to you. There had been episodes at the town hall where it has been reported to me And I have observed that you have interacted with staff in a loud, profane, and aggressive way, such that at the conclusion of the conversation, the staff person felt intimidated, uncomfortable. What a liar. And fearful, I'm told that you stated to the staff, and I heard directly from you, that all the town employees are corrupt, discriminatory, and are racist. What a liar. I pick in the front of town hall, I stated, Mr. Frill, some of your administration are racists. I'm a Christian, I know not everybody is equal, so I would never say everybody in this town, in this room is racist, but I know some of you are. On July 2020, you appeared in the board assessor's office seeking information where to obtain a picketing permit. It has been reported to me that you acted in a loud, aggressive, profane manner with assessor staff such that you caused them to fear and they felt intimidated. You entered directly to the town clerk's office and hence you the select board office. While in the select board's office, you also act in a loud, aggressive, profane manner. You aggressively gesticulated to such that you pushed the plexiglass partition separating the waiting area from the staff. So God help me. What a liar. What a lie. I never did that. I was very upset. I just got assaulted at the park by Scotland Hart brother-in-law and her sister. And he told me, quote, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna have your teeth kicked in. Rafferty, Helena Rafferty, just a liar she is. And I present the evidence, Sheridan Police Department have the evidence and the video, the picture. Rafferty stated that the can was thrown on the ground. Thank God I showed it to the Canton Police, Sheridan Police Department, which yelled at the police station, that's a hit. The man hit me about 25 feet with a can of sword in my truck. Rafferty lied on the report that he said, Mr. Delgado, Bobby said he threw the can on the ground. I said, you're a liar not to speak to me. Rafferty is a liar. And I stop right here. Some more letter coming in the next section. What you've done to me. And you, John Connolly, this is directly to you, sir. You have stated I've received all the message from McNeese and Officer Lanhart that I will never work in this town again. Boy, is written on stone. You neglect one of the best stonemason ever walked in this town ever since the Freemason came and they built the bridges.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've done 3, 6, 12.
You are a
So one more.
scumbag, John, all due respect.
So we have time for one more.
One more.
We've doubled up a few.
Hi, my name's Elise Cohen. I live in Canton. 1 second, I just ran upstairs. I need a breath. So I believe Mr. Delgado read a letter just now, and it speaks to the bullying and the retribution, abuse of power that's gone on in Canton by the town officials and what they're trying to do by keeping people outside from running businesses that are small businesses in Canton. We heard from FNF Power Corporation that this was going on. Now we just heard another company, Rolling Stone Masonry, that's run out of town. This has been going on a really long time and it needs to stop. The reason, what I was going to say is I have a whole list of events and things that have happened, and I'm not going to sit here and outline them right now, but I need you to know that this is what he just did, and what I'm going to do is an introduction to many more situations that the random citizens here know of and we have experienced. There are several people in this room tonight, in fact, who have been affected by it, and I can only guess that they may want to share with all the other random citizens the way that they have the treatment they've received from the police department and select board. The audit is so necessary right now. The unethical and potentially criminal actions of numerous town employees has been exposed. And if something isn't done about this, we're really going to be, I don't even know what to say. But we all have information and it's not being hidden anymore. Stuff is going to come out. The woman that he talked about is a 85-year-old woman that said she feels threatened, doesn't feel safe in her own community. I don't understand, why that's not investigated when she was put in 2 requests, 2 letters. So, sorry. I was just going to say that every single resident in Canton and beyond should be outraged at this charade. Any one of us could be framed and prosecuted for a crime that we did not commit. How free do you really think you are, especially if you're an outsider in Canton? If you're untouchable, maybe you'll be protected, but that's at the high cost of selling your soul to the dark. The way that whistleblowers have been treated here is egregious, and there's a clear pattern of intimidation. It's a long-standing pattern of raging abuse in power, and there's clear conflicts of interest where people don't recuse themselves, they don't follow ethics laws, and it's just beyond disgraceful. And I don't know anymore what to do or say, because nothing, you just talk to the wall, and you can't even trust the people, to help. So I'm just here to say, something must be done. The people in Canton, besides the regular people that show up, must show up. Do not be intimidated.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Any other business?
Nope.
Look for a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to adjourn at 8:06.
Motion been made and seconded.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, 3-0. Thank you.